Hello everyone, welcome to Let's Talk Politics. In today's video, I'm going to be doing my first 2022 Senate midterms race prediction. And a little heads up here, I think the Republican Party for the Senate will not do as great in 2022 just because of Mitch McConnell. Since Mitch McConnell is running for the ticket for the Republican Party in the 2022 Senate midterms, I think the Republicans will not do as great as they should be because Mitch McConnell is well hated not only by the Democrats but also well hated by the Republican Party, and he was just a weak candidate, and hated by both sides of the aisle. So first, we're gonna start. Just a little heads up there, but first we're gonna start with Nevada and make our way down to the last state, which is New Hampshire. And I think New Hampshire will be likely for whoever is the candidate for the Democratic um, party in the 2022 Senate midterms. I just think Nevada is a little bit too out of reach for the Republicans, but not too out of reach, but I think it is getting a little bit too out of reach for the Republicans in the Senate. So doesn't matter who's the Republican candidate in this 2022 Senate midterms for Nevada. It doesn't matter who's the Democratic candidate. I just think Nevada is a little bit too out of reach. It's going to be 6% to 7% for the Democratic candidate. So Nevada can be likely. I just think no matter who's the candidate, it's going to go to the Democratic candidate. So I think next up, Arizona. I think Arizona, it's going to be way closer than people expect because Martha McSally, or whatever McSally, is not going to be the nominee in Arizona for the Republican Party, and she was a weak candidate. Um, and she even got endorsed by Donald Trump, and she still did not do great, which is a bad thing. And now she's not going to be up for a ticket for the Republicans in 2022 for Arizona, so it's going to be someone else running for Arizona as a Republican. And I think I forgot his name, but I know who he is. I think he is definitely stronger than McSally, but he can bring the race closer. But at the end of the day, I still have Mark Kelly winning the Arizona Senate race by 0.8% tilt margin. It's going to be way closer than how it was in 2018 because Mark McSally is not the nominee, and I think the new Republican candidate is going to be stronger than how McSally was. So I think it can be closer, but at the end of the day, still have Mark Kelly winning it by 0.8%. So Arizona is definitely not out of reach, but it is kind of getting there. Even though it's going to be closer, just even with a stronger candidate, it still is going to go to Mark Kelly, but just with a lesser margin, which is not good. Because even with a stronger candidate, they still can't win it. So that's why it's not good. And now Alaska, I think the Alaska is also out of reach for the Democrats. Actually, I wouldn't call it out of reach because it is actually getting closer and closer each election, but it's still going to be likely for the Republicans. It's just not the Democrats here in Alaska, and I think Alaska won't flip from red to blue in the Senate race until, I don't even know, 15 years from now. It's definitely not safe, but it is pretty likely. I think Alaska can be won for the Republican candidate. No matter who's the Republican candidate, it's going to be won for them. And I think it can be won by 9 to 10%. And now in Alaska, I have Alaska going to Alaska is just like Nevada. It's out of reach for the Republican Party. I meant Colorado. Moving on to Colorado. Colorado is just like Nevada, out of reach for the Republican Party, likely margin. And I just think no matter who's the candidate for Colorado, even if it's close, it's going to be won by the Democratic candidate. Colorado is going blue by 9%, and Iowa. I think Iowa can be is I think he can. Um, North Carolina. North Carolina is kind of weird. In the presidential level, it is shifting more blue, but in the Senate race, it's staying barely red. So in North Carolina, I have to the Republican candidate by 3% on the dot, 3%, and that is tilt margin. Tilt to lean 3 to 4%, somewhere around there. Actually, 3.5%. Um, yeah, pretty much tilt lean to tilt. Uh, it'll be. I just way just barely. I can see. I did. It's gonna go blue no matter what. So there you guys go. This is my 2022 Senate midterms race prediction. I have the Democrat. I have the Republicans at 49 seats to the Democrats 51 seats. Um, and they will pass. And I just think Chuck Schumer will be reelected as the Senate minority leader for the Democratic Party. I just think Mitch McConnell, like I mentioned earlier, is weak, pretty weak. So there you guys go. Let me know what states you agree or disagree with me, because these are the states. I just filled them out. Let me know if you agree or disagree with me. And goodbye, everyone.